Other people have asked, how many acres is inside the city limits that hasn't got anything built on? Now, Mr. Peterson alluded to that, but he didn't tell us. It was asked at the planning and zoning meeting. We can't ever seem to get an answer to that question. I don't know why. It should be easy. And all you can tell us is how many lots are plotted that aren't filled, but you don't tell us how many acres are actually inside the city limits that aren't built on. I'd like to know that.
Stephanie Weisenbach, I'm the program coordinator of 1000 Friends of Iowa, a nonprofit organization based in Des Moines at 3850 Merle Hay Road, Suite 605. I was also at the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting when this annexation was under consideration, and as I stated then, I'll state tonight, I see that this is one of the largest annexations that Ankeny has undertaken in many years, and possibly ever, with the exception of maybe the Corporal Woods Drive, and I would like to see some additional analysis before the city would even consider such annexation. The first point being the point about the inventory, and it seems that the staff is producing more information about the lots that are vacant, but in terms of a complete number of available land, that's just not seen yet. And considering the tremendous resources that Ankeny has to pursue the growth, it seems that there's also the resources there to examine what's currently available in the city limits. And so I would hope to see some results from that inquiry that has been asked several times. Additionally, the issue of public input has been raised about citizens that live in unincorporated areas that either face annexation of their own property against their will, or possibly are next to land that has been annexed and is developed. And it just seems that over a period of time that the actual citizen input into those developments has not substantially been able to shape the future development patterns of that area. And that's generally disappointing, and I know from other examples throughout the metro area too that there are ways that cities can work more closely with citizens' concerns and also be able to address them as they come up and see the proof that it counts. And so I'd encourage you to take all the input that you have in general and also be able to articulate, you asked this and then this is what we did, to be able to validate that you heard what you've received from the public and that you've sometimes possibly acted on it, or to be able to act on it and then validate that to people to show that actually can produce results for their neighborhoods.
How many acres is inside the city limits that hasn't got anything built on? Now, Mr. Peterson alluded to that, but he didn't tell us.
What I wanted to raise was traffic, and I've been examining the transportation development patterns in the metro area for some time, and I'm sure that many of you are well aware, and you said on the MPO, a few of you do, and the limited transportation dollars that are available that are in comparison to some of the traffic increases that are being experienced. And with this particular annexation, I'm curious about Highway 415 and also the traffic that would be generated onto that highway as a result of the development and this annexation. And I'm curious if there are any numbers that the city has on that and the traffic effects of the annexation, because as you may be aware of, the Federal Highway Administration has been holding off on approving new interchange requests from the Des Moines metropolitan area due to the need to study more regional freeway system patterns to ensure that all of the traffic that's supposed to be internal within a metro area isn't just getting dumped onto the interstates, causing safety issues and other issues with freight. And you've stated at previous meetings that Federal Highway had granted a certain kind of special exception for Ankeny's Northeast 36th Street interchange, and then also at the Alice's Road interchange out in Dallas County, and that's been stated at the MPO before as well. And in case you hadn't heard, about a week ago in the Des Moines Register, I read that Federal Highway has actually rejected the initial phase of the Dallas County extension at Alice's Road, which is much to the surprise of the city leaders in that area. And so in terms of those regional transportation decisions, it is evident that Federal Highway is rejecting certain proposals that are more due to development prospects and traffic generated from those developments. So considering that, if this annexation ends up generating a tremendous amount of additional traffic onto 415 and going south, then I just think that would cause a negative impact on the quality of life and also traffic throughout the other areas of the Des Moines interstate system. So with that, considering that transportation accounts for a third of all of the emissions and greenhouse gases, according to a lot of different scientists, the decisions that you're making about annexation and the types of development that you're supporting really do count in the long-range environmental picture of what's happening. And so with the plans that are coming forward, with growth and development in the area, the regional picture and then also what effect that has on the quality of life is very important, and that the citizens that are here tonight need to be heard. And so I concur with that. Thanks for the time.